Hello friends, this is Dr. Saurabh Patwardhan from Nandadeep Eye Hospital, PG Institute and Training Center. In this video, I'll be discussing a case of post 8 cut RK and I had to perform cataract surgery. So how I decided to go about this particular surgery. This was the biometry. The cornea was fairly regular, measurable. Otherwise, we can always use Pentacam Sirius scan to check the corneal power. But in very irregular cornea, it's always difficult. I decided to target minus 1.25 diopter of myopia. I generally target myopia of minus 1 to 1.5 for 8 cut RK and more for more cuts, because these patients, the cornea tends to get flattened after the surgery, leading to hyperopic shift. Every incision you make has to be away from the cut RK incision, otherwise the RK incisions will open up. So for the main incision, because it was a 8 cut RK, it was still easier as compared to a 16 cut RK, but I decided to go for a scleral, or rather a posterior limbal incision. So you can see I cut the conjunctiva. I have given little bit of subconjunctival anesthesia to the patient so as to have more comfort during the surgery. I just cut little bit of conjunctiva where I want to make that incision, and the incision has to be in between the two cuts so that the cuts do not open up. You can see I start from the white part, that is the scleral part, and then I will enter the cornea, and I want a fairly long incision so that to avoid crisscrossing of this incision and the RK incisions. For more cuts, for example 16 cut RK, I will go more posterior on the sclera, because I want that white band of sclera to stabilize the incision at the end of the surgery and to avoid opening up of the RK incisions which are there on the cornea. These RK incisions are almost up to 90% of the corneal depth. So during even manipulations of the cataract, if the incisions are too close to your main incision or even side port incision, they might open up and you may have to suture them. So keep that preparation. So this is how the phacoprobe goes in, and you can see that white band of the sclera protecting the incision. This is a high myopia, so there is a reverse pupillary block or LIDRS. So I just released it by raising the iris. The cataract is not that dense, it's a softer grade of cataract. Patient is not that old, just 45-year-old, so I expect the nucleus to be soft. So I just did phaco aspiration of the nucleus. Again you can see the patient gets reverse pupillary block. Whenever these patients have reverse pupillary block on table, they have little bit of discomfort, and if you release the block by lifting up the iris, it is more comfortable for the patient. I am using very minimal phaco energy here, just aspirating out the lenticular matter. And because this patient has RK and also high myopia patient, remember this patient has very low scleral rigidity, and that's why it is better to reduce the parameters as you go on, because these patients may have posterior capsular surge or anterior movement of the posterior capsule even with your regular phaco parameters. So I just reduce the vacuum for the last piece here, and overall I do the surgery with low dynamics to avoid excessive pressure in the anterior chamber, because some of these RK incisions can be very deep, because this is a manual procedure done years ago, and some of these incisions may go almost 100% depth, and these incisions might open up even if you have not touched them. If any of the RK incision open up, then you just have to give sutures to avoid any leakage. So this is the IOL going in. So I have targeted around minus 1.25 diopter of myopia. Patient is already a high myope and wouldn't mind little bit of residual myopia, but will not like to have hyperopia. And over a period of next 3 months, there will be some hyperopic shift in this patient. A thorough visco wash as needed, and as you can see, whenever we are using the main incision, you can see the stretch over the cornea the movement of the probe causes, and this is enough. If you make a clear corneal incision in these cases, it's enough for disturbing the previous arcane incisions and opening them up. So I would have wanted more posterior incision than this, but I think this is fairly good enough for me, and you can see the arcane incisions are safe along the side of the main incision. And now I am hydrating the incision. Because of the lower scleral rigidity, these incisions tend to leak a bit, and if required, you can always suture these incisions. So I am just trying to close these incisions by dabbing them with cotton buds. I also use sometimes xylocaine soaked cotton buds that will just hydrate the outer part of the incision. And here I am testing with trypan blue, and you can see that both the incisions are leaking. So I am now, this is a xylocaine bud, xylocaine soaked blood, which is I am using to just stabilize the outer portion of the corneal incision, and you can see now the leakage has stopped, or there is still some leakage there. And because this was a 8 cut RK, I could do the Wong's pocket here to close the leakage. But if required, I am ready to suture the incision, because it is always better to suture these incisions. Because of the lower scleral rigidity, you cannot trust the incision to seal very quickly over a period of time. But luckily here the incision got closed. I put the pad and bandage for the patient for the next 2 hours. This was 7 days post-op. Patient was on myopic side as expected, and I expect the hyperopic shift to occur over next 2 to 3 months.